At GMC, ignorance is the furthest thing from bliss. Bliss is research, testing the testing, until it results in not just one truck, but a whole lineup. The 2025 GMC Sierra lineup, featuring the Sierra 1500 Heavy Duty and EV. Because true bliss is removing every shadow from every doubt. We are professional grade. Visit GMC.com to learn more.
With a Venmo debit card, you can Venmo more than just your friends. You can use your balance in so many ways. You can Venmo everything. Need gas? You can Venmo this. How about snacks? You can Venmo that. Your favorite band's merch? You can Venmo this. Or their next show? You can Venmo that. Visit Venmo.me/debit to learn more.
You can Venmo this, or you can Venmo that. You can Venmo this, or you can Venmo that. You can Venmo.
The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. Card may be used everywhere MasterCard is accepted. Venmo purchase restrictions apply.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Welcome to the Paddock and The Pavilion, the podcast that brings you the very best of both horse racing and cricket, with me, your host, Stephen Wallis. On today's show, I'm joined by rising National Hunt trainer AJ O'Neill. At the start of May last year, AJ took on the role of joint trainer alongside his legendary father, Jonjo O'Neill. Together, they now lead the team at Jackdaws Castle. In this episode, AJ shares what it's like working day to day with his father and his brother, jockey Jonjo O'Neill Jr., and reflects on a highly encouraging first season in the role. It's an insightful and inspiring chat with a young man clearly on a mission. So sit back and enjoy my conversation with AJ O'Neill. Hello AJ, thanks for joining me on the Paddock and the Pavilion.
No, thank you very much for having me on. Thank you.
And a special thanks to your PA, Claire Bowring, for setting us all up.
Yeah, definitely not my PA, but unfortunately she has to keep me on the straight and narrow as well. So, yeah, not an easy task, but she does a great job.
Oh, do you need someone to keep you on the straight and narrow then? Or?
It certainly helps to have that guidance anyway.
A little quieter now, is it? You had some runners yesterday at Huntingdon, though.
Yeah, we had a couple of runners yesterday at Huntingdon. We had two on Sunday, so we had 2/3 on Sunday and 2 seconds yesterday at Huntingdon. So, yeah, definitely going in the right direction. Just need 2 winners now.
It never stops then, being a National Hunt trainer.
No, it's I suppose. Obviously, there's quite a lot more summer jumping now than there used to be, and yeah, it keeps us busy. And we were at Doncaster Sales last week. Heading over to Ireland for the sales later this week, and then there's all the store sales that are coming up, and Arcana, the sales in Deauville in France. So yeah, there's plenty to keep us busy through the summer, and hopefully a bit of restocking for next season.
Do you get a chance to get a bit of a holiday though in the summer?
I do, to be fair. Try and take a couple of days here and there, a long weekend. Try and extend my stay down in Deauville or something like that after the sales is always quite nice. It's nice to get a few days break.
Oh, Dad lets you stay a bit longer then, does he? Yeah.
I exaggerate the sale dates.
How many horses have you now got at Jackdaws Castle?
So we had about 100 to 105 in training through the winter. Obviously a good bit fewer now during the summer. A lot of the winter horses are out to grass, getting their holidays and getting their rest in. Hopefully we'll have a similar number or slightly more if we can pick up a few at the sales and things for next season.
Looking at last season, 72 winners, over 1.2 million in prize money. I hope I've got that right. How do you reflect on last season?
It was a fantastic season. Very fortunate that we had some lovely horses and some great owners, and fortunately the horses were all fit and healthy. The team here did a great job keeping them right throughout the season. So was great to be able to enjoy my first season on the license with Dad in good fashion, really. And just looking to keep building on it from there.
8th in the table of trainers. Did you enjoy it?
Oh, it was fantastic. I suppose if I wasn't enjoying it and things were going really quite well and the horses were fit and healthy and everyone was having a good time, if I wasn't enjoying it, then it would have been a problem for sure. No, it's very easy to enjoy it when the horses are running well.
Working with a famous person like your dad, Cheltenham Gold Cup winning and Cheltenham champion hurdle winning jockey, Grand National winning trainer, Cheltenham Gold Cup winning trainer. Can you remember some of those days as a trainer when he won the Gold Cup and the Grand National?
Yeah, I remember both of those. Obviously, the riding was a little bit before my time, but obviously seen all the videos and heard all the great stories. But yeah, I remember the training parts of it quite well. Definitely have enjoyed those celebrations that have followed.
You were too young to be at those two big races, the synchronized and don't push it then.
So I was at both of those. Managed to get days off school for those. So managed to just sneak in.
And did you then always want to be involved in racing?
Yeah, I suppose it's something that I suppose once you get hooked on it, it does suck you in, and it's hard to let go. Really, I went off and did university and things like that just to make sure Dad and Mum were always very keen on us all having something to fall back on, a piece of paper, so they called it, just in case we ever should need it. But managed to get that, but fortunately managed to structure it around working at the yard with Dad and all the lads here. So it was always on the cards.
So have you been working at the yard for quite a few years?
Since I left school. So I did university, and I managed to find a course that was mostly online and then just one day a week in person. So for every day bar Friday I was at the yard, and then Friday was at university pretending to study.
So that didn't put you off then, no?
No. It made me realized that the city definitely wasn't for me, that I definitely preferred a more active and kind of involved job with horses and animals than being stuck behind a desk. I don't think that would have suited me quite so well.
But you were also a successful amateur jockey, 12 wins out of 36 rides.
Yeah, I was very, very fortunate to ride some lovely horses, managed to keep the strike rate nice and high. So
that's pretty good, 33% strike rate. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Obviously, not reflective, of being a jockey at all. Which is why I always took that with a big bucket of salt when everyone said, "Oh, why don't you, try riding and things?" Very, very easy to say that when I was fortunate enough to have a few winners. No, I was really lucky. Rode some lovely horses, both for Dad and for some other trainers and owners and things. But very, very lucky to have been able to do it and really enjoyed my time in the saddle. It's good fun.
But you didn't want to follow in Dad's footsteps, so to speak, as a jockey?
No, I remember at Doncaster in January 23 or something. A filly I was riding unfortunately fell on the flat, and I brought down Richie McClernand, who rides a lot for Dad, and I thought, kind of got up and thought, geez, of all the people you didn't want to bring down, not that you'd ever want to bring down anyone, but Richie was certainly bottom of the list. And I went over and I said, "You okay?" He said, yeah. And then I remember he walked to the ambulance, and then he walked from the ambulance to the weighing room, and then walked from the weighing room to the car with his kit bag on, which is probably, 20, 25 kilos, something like that. And he was adamant that he was riding for Dad the next day. And he said, I'll be all right. I'll be all right. And I was thinking, geez, he looks really sore. Anyway, was still sore the next day, went to A&E. I think he broke his leg in 8 places. And I was like, whatever he has. I don't have that. I'm very lucky that I enjoy the riding and had an injury-free career. But I thought, crikey, if that's what it takes to be a national hunt jockey, I'm not sure I have that, and I'm not sure many people do. To be fair, it's yeah, something quite rare for sure.
No, they're a tough breed, aren't they? I recently spoke to Nick Schofield, who obviously rode for you, and
Yeah.
telling me how many injuries he'd had as well.
Yeah, geez, I remember he had some really bad ones. He had an awful leg break there a few years back. She was off for a little while. But yeah, they take a good battering. I thought yeah, self-preservation kicked in, I think.
But do you think having ridden it helps you as a trainer, though?
Yeah, it definitely gives a bit of an understanding. Like it's very easy to, a lot of people, I suppose you see on social media and things like that, giving people a bit of stick from the comfort of their armchair. I suppose once you've done it and realised how small the margins are, and how one angle on the telly doesn't actually represent what is going on, it certainly changes your perspective, and yeah, it definitely adds another string to the bow, so to speak.
So how did it come about then? You were on the license jointly with father from the 4th of May 24.
Yeah, so it was something that I'd been kind of working towards for a couple of years, but something that I always felt that if it was me driving that change, then probably the timing wasn't right, and it would be better for dad to you know make the change whenever he felt was most suitable. So I was always keen not to be too pushy, but always made it clear that that was certainly what I hoped to do. And yeah, anyway, one day he obviously finally gave in, and yeah, fortunately for me, very lucky position to be able to join him on the license, and have really enjoyed it so far.
So what's Jonjo O'Neill like to work with?
Well, both of them, both Dad and John, are great.
Of course, yeah.
There's two of them. We're very, very fortunate. Mum is a massive, massive part of the team as well. Her involvement couldn't be overstated. We're all working towards the same things, although we might have different ideas on how to get there in the day to day. At heart, our objectives are all the same. So it's, deep down, we all know that we're pulling in the same direction. We might just have different ideas and different routes of getting there. But no, very, very fortunate to be part of the team. It's a pleasure.
So do you share the workload, and some days you go racing and some days Dad goes racing?
Yeah, when we first started, he made it fairly clear that if the track was in a 1 hour radius of home, it was his track, and if it was any farther, then it became my track. But it seems to be slightly more even than he originally led me to believe. So yeah, we'd go racing. Sometimes we go together, and hopefully there's a few days where we've got runners at multiple meetings if we've the horses to do that. So yeah, we can divide and conquer, so to speak.
That's why you were at Huntingdon yesterday, then?
That's right. Yeah, I was at Huntingdon yesterday. Yeah, so cheering them all on, and no, we're delighted with the way that they both ran. So very happy.
And what different outlooks do you bring? Because you're, say, 50 years younger than your dad.
Yeah, I suppose obviously he'll always be the voice of experience in any conversation that we have work related, but Jonjo and I are both very, very fortunate that Mum and Dad, they're both very open to new ideas, willing to try new things, not stuck in their ways at all, which is, a massive, massive help, and allows Jonjo and I to be able to, discuss things very freely, and then we can talk about it. And if it was a bad idea, then that's fine. But most of them are bad ideas. But every now and again, a good idea does seem to poke its way through, which is kind of handy. So we're very, very lucky that we can have those discussions, and yeah, try and come up with a few new ideas. And sometimes they're great, and if not, we can always revert back to where we were in the first place.
Because in the time your dad's been training, with media and websites, none of those sort of things existed all those years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Social media and things is a massive, massive part of getting yourself out there and getting the brand out there. Something that I'm not particularly good at on a personal level, but we've a great team at home that get lots of lovely pictures and videos of everything that they do with the horses, which is nice to show everyone the behind the scenes. And Tom Arkle does a great job of running our social media. So it's a big part of it to try and show everyone what we're doing with the horses and things like that. And then there's lots more kind of scientific applications that could be used around horse racing and training horses, some of which are great, some of which maybe need a little bit more time to develop. But it's great that Jonjo and I are probably just growing up in a different generation, probably have a slightly better understanding of these different things and what they can do, and then we can discuss it as a team and decide whether it's for us or not just quite yet.
So you have sort of board meetings over the kitchen table then?
Yes, absolutely. It's sure if we don't, Jonjo and I would be stuck for a few hot dinners, so we we definitely have to.
But that's important though, to attracting new owners and syndicates, isn't it? The way you present the stable.
Yeah, definitely. It's a massive, massive part of it. We're on a big push at the moment to try and attract more syndicate members and sole owners, and anyone who's interested in any sort of ownership, really. Just because there's so many different ways of getting involved in racehorse ownership now, which is fantastic. And it just gives everyone a bit of a taste of what it's like, which is, the more people you can get involved, the better. And social media is kind of one of the biggest ways of doing that now, because so many people, check their social media and follow different accounts and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's very, very important to try and, get yourselves out there and show everyone what we're doing.
Your dad's still got the drive and hunger though.
Yeah, he's a remarkable man for all of the kind of professional and personal and medical struggles that he may have had. He's as hungry as ever, which is great to see, and a big help to Jonjo and I that we're all and Mum that we're all pushing forward in the same direction.
Yeah, easy to forget those. They're quite a long time ago, wasn't it, when your dad was seriously ill?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, he had a bad bout of cancer, unfortunately, but managed to fight his way through as he always seems to do. And still going good and strong.
You said earlier it's a real family affair. I've loved the logo on the website.
Yeah. Oh, good. It's the three O's, and then Mum in the middle holding it all together.
Abercrombie's Vacation Shop Essentials are 25% off right now, and Spotify listeners are getting an extra 15% off with code SPOTIFYAF. My summer schedule is booked up. I need shorts, tees, and swim I can throw into a suitcase for weekend trips. Abercrombie has me covered. Take an extra 15% off with code SPOTIFYAF through June 9th, 2025. Valid in US and Canada. Exclusions apply. See details online. 25% off Vacation Essentials is valid in US and Canada through June 9th, 2025. Applies to select styles as indicated. Price reflects discount.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. From streaming to shopping, Prime helps you get more out of your passions. So whether you're a fan of true crime or prefer a nail-biting novel from time to time, with services like Prime Video, Amazon Music, and fast free delivery, Prime makes it easy to get more out of whatever you're into or getting into. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to learn more.
Roll baller Alonzo Ball for Buzzballs. Ready to go cocktails. Take 12.
Buzzballs just dropped their biggest blue balls.
Script says Biggie's Blue Balls, Lonzo. Take 13.
Blue balls just dropped their biggest buzzballs. Ugh.
Let's try a vocal exercise.
Buzzballs, Biggie's, blue balls, buzzballs, Biggie's, blue balls.
Big balls just dropped. Get blue balls this season with Buzzballs.
Please drink responsibly. Buzzballs available in spirit, wine, and malt. 15% alcohol by volume. Buzzballs LLC, Carrollton, Texas.
Just talking briefly about Cheltenham and the importance of Cheltenham. Is it now too important?
Look, it is a fantastic spectacle. It's amazing to be able to get there. Really, really is fantastic to have a horse to even, get a chance of running. And then, if you're competitive, it's all the more thrill. But it's winning races anywhere is important. It's just as hard, so to speak, to get the small horse to win the small race as the big horse to win the big race, as Dad always says. So yeah, you have to enjoy all the highs as much as you can wherever they may be, because there are plenty of lows, like in any sport really. So it's just trying to make sure that the good days outweigh the bad ones.
But presumably when the season starts or gets going, you've got some horses that you're thinking that could be a Cheltenham runner. Yeah,
exactly. You're always hoping, but as you said, like there's plenty of other festivals. There's obviously Aintree, and then there's all the Irish festivals that seem to be making more of an impression on English trainers, with more English trainers going over this year for Punchestown probably. You've got the Berkshire Festival kind of in January time, which was great. So yeah, there's plenty of good racing around, if the horses to get you there.
And looking ahead to the future, what are your immediate targets for next season?
I mean, naturally, it's to beat last season. It was our best season in the last 12 or so years, I think. So certainly won't be easy to replicate it, but the ambition is definitely to beat it. Always to keep building, and hopefully we can try and get some new owners involved, and new people, new syndicates, with new horses, and try and get some more fresh blood into the stable, and just build up the team and the string that we have for the future.
And I think already you might have some more flat runners.
Yeah, please God. Well, we've got a couple of horses that we have as dual purpose types. They'll be kind of running, some of them slightly younger that'll start off on the flat and then go over obstacles, and then some that are slightly older horses that kind of have the option of doing both. So definitely hope to have a few more flat runners just to diversify a little bit, and keep the show on the road.
I hadn't realised until I did some research that Dad had a Royal Ascot winner.
He's had two.
Oh, I missed one there. Windsor Castle Stakes in 1990.
Yeah, and Well Sharp in, crikey, I'm going to have to remember the date now. I want to say it was 2015, but I could have that wrong. Well Sharp also won. He's the two Royal Ascot winners. So going for the ever elusive third, if we can find the right horse.
I guess races like the Ebor, it would be a sort of another candidate in the future if you had the right type of horse.
Yeah, absolutely.
A race he won as a jockey, of course. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Just need a horse like Sea Pigeon to come along and.
They don't come along very often, right? Yeah.
No, not so much. It should be fantastic. And Dad's won. He's won a Northumberland Plate as well. So those sort of slightly more extended trips on the flat definitely lend themselves to those dual purpose horses a little bit more. Hopefully we can find one that's good enough to go both ways.
And on the website you say, and you're still only 25, I think, you'd love one day to be champion trainer.
Have to be aspirational. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you have to dream big.
Well, thank you very much for being on the Paddock and the Pavilion, AJ. The very best of luck for next season, 2025-2026, and hopefully you will get some time off during the summer.
No, thank you very much. Really enjoyed speaking to you, and hopefully we'll speak again soon with a bit of luck.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Welcome to It Takes Energy, presented by Energy Transfer, where we talk all things oil and natural gas. Oil and gas drive our economy, ensure our country's security, and open pathways to brighter futures. What do you know about oil and natural gas? You likely associate them with running your car or heating your home. But these two natural resources fuel so much more than that. More than 6,000 consumer products that we rely on every day are made using oil and gas. Before you even step out the door in the morning, you've already used more products made possible because of oil and gas than you realize. From the toothpaste you brush your teeth with, the soap you washed your face with, and the sheets you slept on. Not to mention your makeup, contact lenses, clothes, and shoes. Oil and gas are vital parts of all these products and so many more. Look around and you'll see the essential role oil and gas plays in our lives. Our world needs oil and gas, and people rely on us to deliver it. To learn more, visit energytransfer.com.